Ghana is dollar hungry. After reaching an IMF staff-level agreement almost 2 months ago, the country has not been able to meet all the necessary requirements to unlock the third tranche of its IMF loan. As a result, the current monetary policy tightening ongoing in the U.S., plus the ever-increasing import bill of Ghana has placed enormous pressure on the cedi, which has lost more than 20% of its value against the American greenback since the beginning of the year. In its latest press briefing, the IMF has indicated that its aim is to assist Ghana get board approval for the release of $360 million by the end of this month. Listen to Julie Kozak, the fund's Director of Communication, who made this announcement during the IMF's most recent press briefing.
So, on April 13th, the IMF's and the Ghanaian authorities reached staff-level agreement on economic policies and reforms for the second review of the program. Our aim is to bring the review to the IMF's executive board for approval before the end of June. This would give Ghana access to $360 million in financing, bringing the total to about $1.6 billion in disbursements since May of 2023. The authorities' strong policy and reform efforts under the three-year program are bearing fruit, and signs of economic stabilization are emerging. So, for example, growth in 2023, private creditors' reform efforts under the three-year program are bearing fruit, and signs of economic stabilization are emerging. So, for example, growth in 2023 was higher than we had initially envisaged. The authorities are also making good progress on their comprehensive debt restructuring. The domestic debt exchange was completed last year, and in January 2024, the government reached an agreement in principle with its official bilateral creditors. Ghana is also engaging its external private creditors to seek their support. Looking ahead, steadfast policy and reform implementation will be crucial to fully and durably restore macroeconomic stability and debt sustainability in Ghana. The government has committed to continue implementing the program as envisaged to ensure sustainable growth and support poverty reduction. With respect to the specific questions on the debt sustainability analysis, at each review, including this one that is in progress, the IMF does provide not only a full update of the economic situation and the macroeconomic projections, but also the debt sustainability analysis. So the latest DSA will be published with the staff report after the board considers the second review of the program. And of course, it's also just to reiterate that it is now important for the government to continue to make progress as it has been doing with its creditors to ultimately restore debt sustainability for the country.
My colleague Isaac Kofi has been monitoring the fund's press conference, and he joins me via Zoom with more. Hi Kofi, thanks for joining us. Has Ghana met all the necessary requirements for the release of the third tranche?
Well, Emma, we are learning that the country has really made advancements in terms of the requirements or the necessary conditions for us to be able to get the third tranche of $360 million. The only condition left with right now has to do with the agreement with the bilateral creditors, which we know is actually in the final stages at the moment. So if you ask me about the conditions, the country has really made advancements in terms of getting all the necessary requirements for us to be able to get that $360 million maybe by the end of this month.
Well, how would you say this fund or this injection is crucial given the current woes of the cedi and the ever-rising import bill? How crucial is this?
Well, very crucial. I mean, if you look at the import figures for the first quarter of this year, if you compare to that of last year, we've seen import go up by more than $100 million. And just like I always say, we don't print dollars in this country. And one of the reasons why we had to go for a fund program was because of the balance of payment problems that we faced. And so an injection of $360 million will be huge. Looking at the fact that we need about $400 million every month to import, crude and other refined products of oil. And looking at the fact that the import bill of the country currently is around, about $14 billion annually. And this tells you that at every stage, of the economy, you need some inflows into the economy. The fact that some backbone of the economy like cocoa, which used to bring in more than $800 million every first quarter. This time around, we got less. Instead of the more than $800 million, we got less than somewhere $600 million. It dropped by more than $200 million. And that tells you that all of these factors, including what's going on in the US, where monetary policy rate is being tightened, all of this affecting the city. And so an injection of $360 million will be very crucial to the economy at the moment.
Right. Thank you very much, Kofi. Isaac Kofi J is with the research desk. Moving on, the opposition, NDC, is accusing the vice president of being one of those behind the arrest of Ewutu Senya East parliamentary candidate, Naa Koryoo. Addressing the media after the release of Naa Koryoo, the party's national chairman, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, claimed the police could not give any reason for her arrest, but rather insisted it was an order from above. Esiedun Ketia said that order came from the vice president, Dr Bawumia, who is the chairman of the police council. He believes the move was to intimidate their candidates ahead of the parliamentary elections in the Ewutu Senya constituency. The following report has more.
After being detained by the Ghana Police Service, the parliamentary candidate for Ewutu Senya East, representing the National Democratic Congress, Naa Koryoo, has finally been released by the police. Now, they held a press conference. The NDC held a press conference at the party's headquarters here in Accra, which was addressed by the party's national chairman, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, who said that the party will continue to resist oppressors' rule. He did also make allegations that even members of the Ghana Police Service claimed not to have known why she was detained at the police station last night.
Whilst we were at the police headquarters, I was very, very sad because nobody within the ranks of the Ghana Police Service appeared to know why Koryoo was arrested. And Bawumia is the chairman of the police council. So if the chairman of the police council is in contest with us in an election, and the police decide to be on the side of their chairman, then this democracy is at risk. All we heard was that order from above.
Now, the national chairman of the party, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, has also sent a strong warning to the member of parliament for Ewutu Senya East, Hawa Kumsin, that her days are numbered.
Let a strong warning be sent to Hawa Kumsin. That she is not above the laws of this country. And if for the time being she is enjoying the protection of some people, you should know that the day of accountability is fast approaching.
Naa Koryoo also addressed the press, thanking the members of the party for sticking by her throughout her arrest until she was released by the police service in the early hours of this morning.
I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for your immense support since Sunday till date. I want to thank the hierarchy of the party, branch executives, regional executives, all our delegates, all the party sympathizers, and to my friends, the media. I want to thank you all for the immense support and the show of love. This is the beginning of our victory come 7 December.
We spoke to some enthusiastic supporters who are really happy that finally she has been released by the Ghana Police Service.
I've been there since yesterday and I'm still here.
Why?
Because I love my PC so much and I see no reason why she should be detained for no reason. Actually, she has not done anything which she must be kept in a cell for more than 24 hours. So I deem it necessary to be around in order to make sure that I give her my moral support and for her also to know how much I love her.
Kept going to the police station, to the hospital, and we are always going and coming. And all this is just to divert the attention from the exercise that is going on. It's a bit worrying how the police can be using the law and they will not be using it the way they have to use it. It is very worrying.
It is about time the people of Kaswa stand on their feet to change. We can no more, and I repeat, we can no more take the intolerance, the insecurity of Hawa Kumsi. What has she done for Kaswa? Hawa Kumsi should be able to point out one single thing that Hawa Kumsi, she has done for Kaswa in terms of development.
They're saying that they are marching straight to Kaswa in the central region to address the people there for their support throughout these difficult times for the party. Quoting from the headquarters of the opposition NDC, Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Moving on, former director of the Ghana Law School, Kwaku Ansah-Asare, has cast serious doubt about the ability of the General Legal Counsel to cite Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame for misconduct because of his position on the council. This follows a ruling by the judge in the ongoing ambulance trial case, who dismissed petitions for a mistrial over the AG's alleged misconduct and redirected defense lawyers to the GLC. Kwaku Ansah-Asare, who is a former member, argues that the council will be crippled by conflict of interest. He spoke on NewsPrime.
The reference or referral to the General Legal Counsel, is called comfort. The General Legal Counsel, will be a toothless bulldog in this matter because the Attorney General is a stalwart in the composition of the council. I will not advise or suggest to the defense counsel to go there.
All right.
Unless the Attorney General is suspended or made to step aside. Nor the Judicial Council, because again, the Chief Justice is the chairperson of the Judicial Council, and the next most powerful person is the Attorney General. So this creates a legal quagmire. We find ourselves in a conundrum, and the Attorney General, both the Attorney General and the court, will now, find themselves in some legal tricks, like Amatedu's proverbial dilemma of a ghost. Shall I go to Cape Coast or Elmina? Should the defense go to the General Legal Counsel or lodge a complaint about the ruling to the Judicial Council or the Chief Justice? In neither of these instances will any good verdict.
All right.
Kwaku Ansah-Asare insists the actions of the Attorney General amounts to contempt of court, insisting he should resign.
Out of the conversation, which was a private conversation between the two of them, we hear Richard Jaffa say, ask the Attorney General, how you want me to do what you're bidding? How I should go about answering questions? How I should go about answering questions? My brother, this amounts to coaching, and it's a serious offense under our law. It amounts to contempt of the court. It amounts to obstruction of justice, which is also a criminal offense under our law. Under the Constitution, any such offenses amounts to contempt of court, for which the Attorney General can be attached. I'm surprised that the defense has up to now not brought an application to attach the body or person or the Attorney General. Let him face the wrath of the law. What he has done is contempt of court, pure and simple, and he must be made to suffer for it. If we were operating in a different system, the judge would have cited the Attorney General for obstructing justice in the court, which itself also amounts to contempt of court. We have what we call in law contempt ex facie curiae, that is contempt committed before the court. So the Attorney General has tampered with a witness, and in criminal jurisprudence, we also have what is known as witness tampering. Witness tampering is any conduct of the prosecutor or defense to influence or intimidate a witness to go.
Meanwhile, the NDC describes the judge's decision to disallow oral argument over the application for mistrial as an abuse of discretionary powers. Sami Jemfi is the communication officer of the NDC.
Of Odi Oteren pattern. I have a total different view. The issue of whether or not an application has been moved is different from the issue of whether or not the court has a discretion to allow legal arguments. Lawyer Tadiosore and lawyer Aziz Bamba are not complaining because they were denied the opportunity to make legal arguments, even though they would have preferred so. And in my opinion, the judge should have allowed for oral arguments in his discretion because the judge herself concedes that this is a novel legal issue. And the norm is on such novel legal issues. The judge, in exercising his discretion, would want counsel to address the court on certain important matters so that justice can be done. That was a discretionary matter, right, governed by Article 296. And I think that the manner in which the judge exercised the discretion in disallowing legal arguments was an abuse of her discretionary power under 296.
You're still watching Joy News Prime with me, Emma Davis. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Welcome. Let's take a look at the rest of our stories. Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo has expressed frustration over the level of increasing wealth grabbing creeping into the Ghanaian society, especially in business. The CJ made the remark at the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship Conference on maintaining integrity in running business. According to her, the craving for wealth and property has inspired greed among society.
Are going to be able to walk a walk of integrity. You have to be so fastened and so sure and so thoroughly immersed in your identity as a Christian that you cannot be shaken.
I don't understand the level of cravings and the level of monies that people need. I don't understand it. It just seems the figures are too high and too weird, you know. I often ask those close to me, are they buying islands or something? What are they doing? What do they need all of this for?
That's how we part company tonight on Joy News Prime with me, Emma Davis. Thank you for your company, but for more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com and be updated. Have a good evening.